It's been a fucking while since I did one of these. I think it's been a little bit almost over a year since I've done it. But I don't know how to do these anymore. But when I was talking to someone the other day, and what really reeled back my mind was who are we? What are we? What do we do with our life? And I was trying to see or come up with a way if I can find a solution for the thing, or like who am I? What is the main question to this like answer? I would say, but then I realized, how does someone find who they are, or what they want to do, or why they want to do it? The reason why it's such an overlooked thing is because we're all looking for objects, right? We're looking for that that one thing that like ties us down to who we are. Uh, Friends, family, loved ones, uh, objects such as cars, houses, all these things is, what makes you who you are, right? Like a famous person wouldn't be famous without their voice or with their acting skills, right? That's how you see them as, whereas a lot of people see them as famous people, right? But what really got to me and to understand this, when I was like, holy shit, it's like right in front of me, is to truly find out who you are and what you want to do is the opposite. And you're like, dude, what the fuck is this motherfucker talking about, right? What is this fucking motherfucker talking about? What I mean by is, what don't you want to be? And then that came up to me. I was like, oh shit. Like, I have to fucking be a wisdom wizard here and say, like, what does that mean? So I had to think to myself, what does that mean? What I don't want to be? Well, I don't want to be a failure. I don't want to be a quitter. I don't want to be weak. I don't want to be dumb. I don't want to be a lot of these things. I don't want to be seen as worthless, useless, helpless, all these things. So, how does one overcome that? Well, one, weakness. I don't want to be seen as weak. Strength. Okay, so what type of strength then? Physical? Mental? Emotional? Emotional, mental, basically the same thing. But then I had to ask myself, okay, what else? I don't want to be seen as useless. But so how do I put myself to use if I didn't want to be useless? A, which a lot of people should, occupation. Have an occupation, a job. Or if you do and you still feel useless because a job just pays you money, maybe you can be useful in ways of comforting someone, right? Or sharing words of wisdom, or just being useful in a community, right? Do your community service, do community good. A lot of times we feel useless is because we aren't being useful or using something to our advantage of what we want to do or something like that, right? So if I were to say you want to be useful or you don't want to be useless anymore, then you got to be use of something or someone. And you're only going to find use if you start using the skills you have, or starting to develop new skills or learn new skills, right? Or show skills that you have and teach others. That is becoming useful, right? Being a teacher is useful. Another one is, I don't want to be seen as stupid. Well, there's many types of stupidity. Dumb. I act dumb all the time when I'm on the internet. TikToks, if you see all those are a lot of things I do. Stupidity, like TikTok wise, of being dumb, right? So, what is, I don't want to be dumb? How would that play out? Well, I don't want to be. I don't want to be dumb in the ways of not knowing how to not do algebra, or not understanding politics, or not understanding human emotions, being dumb at that. There's different types of dumb, right? So I've came to terms with this, where someone excels in one thing and then someone doesn't excel in the other thing. Have you ever heard of that saying, where it's like your strong points in school are math, reading, science, literature, arts, gym, all these different kind of ways you put it as, right? That's what a lot of people say and do. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses of how they're seen as dumb, right? Like, you can be in your profession of, I've heard this term where a lot of people say, oh, he is a genius at what he does. He is a prodigy at what he does. Like, he's a natural born prodigy, right? You say that to your young person who masters a skill at the age of 12, but then again but looks absolutely ridiculously stupid at another thing, right? They're just below average, right? That's basically what it is. So in order to become smart and to be smart, you have to find something you're good at and you excel at and you are well informed of, whether that's skills of social, whether that's skills of mathematical, whether that's skills of science, technology, like STEM, basically. Science, technology, electronics, and medicine, I think. But it is true. You can't be smart at everything. You can try to be, but like they say most of the times, you can be anything, but you can't be everything, right? It'll take you eons in order to master that, and we all don't have that kind of time, right? It takes about a good 2 to 3 years to become fluent in another language. You want to learn many languages, all the languages. You can learn a lot, but you won't learn all of them. Maybe you can. I don't know. Or you want to be, you want to do coding and stuff like that. You can do it, and you can excel in it in those areas. But then again, you try to pick up a football or you try to dabble in art, and you're gonna be looking stupid doing it. The thing is, smart is not hold to one thing, such as this guy is smart at it pertains to just being math, science, or whatever is in schooling. Being smart is being well informed and having an understanding at what you basically do in life. So whether it's reading, writing, politics, math, science, socializing, that's what being smart is. So another one is, what would I say, weak, dumb, useless, helpless. That's the one. Well, being helpless. I don't want to be helpless. So how can I be helpful? This kind of pertains to being useful, but helpful is someone in need of help, right? Big or small, little or big. Being helpful is helping someone with basically fucking anything, right? Basically helping someone at anything. It pertains to holding the door for an elderly, helping one of the young ones understand the ways of a lesson through life. Like, I teach so much of the young from my mistakes that I've made as a teenager, right? As a teenager, I would make numerous mistakes, and I would help them learn the ways that I did through my failures and my mistakes, so they didn't do the same thing, right? Like, a lot of times I will tell I call them kitties. Don't take it in any weird way, but I call them kitties, like cats. Like, they meow a lot and complain a lot, so they're like cats basically. When they're there, they'll need you when they need you. But yeah, that's true. But it's helping someone, helping others, helping yourself. Being helpless doesn't mean, or helping does not have to pertain to helping someone. It can be helping yourself or helping something you do, right? So when it comes to that, just think of two things. How can I help myself, or how can I help others? Or third one is, what can I do to help? Is what you should ask. What can I do to help? Maybe I can help a person, an animal, or maybe I can help a location, right? Maybe I can help build myself a house. Well, that's still basically helping yourself. So it's only those two questions: is what can I do to help, who can I help, or how can I help myself? And that's how you become less helpless. So the main question is, sorry I got sidetracked on everything, but stop looking for the answer of who am I by looking at things, but instead looking at who do I not want to be. And that's the easiest way to find out who you want to be. And it doesn't pertain to that. A lot of people, I will hurt people's feelings. I don't give a shit. The clothes you wear, the things you put on, the makeup you put on, the way you walk. No, not the way you walk. I was gonna say that, but no. The clothes you wear, the makeup you put on, the car you drive doesn't make you who you are. It truly doesn't. Take those things away, and I say this all the time. When you're standing in a mirror, butt naked, it's weird to say that. When you're standing in front of a mirror, butt naked, that's who you are. That's truly who you are. You can put a poor man in clothes and make him look rich, but that doesn't make him who he is. That's what he looks like, but that doesn't know who he is. Knowing who you are and knowing what you look like are two different things. Anybody can fake being smart. Anybody can fake being rich. Anybody can fake being popular, whatever you want to say it. You can't fake who you truly are, because you will go back into your old habits. So, to find out who you don't want to be, or who you want to be, is by sitting down, talking to yourself as who I don't want to be. You'll get your answer. Not only will you get the answer, but you will get more of an answer that you were looking for, rather than searching for things. And that also means not looking for acceptance from others. Who you are doesn't pertain to what other people think about you, or if they accept you, right? It's about, when it comes down to what you like, do you accept yourself? Do you like yourself? All those things play into practice, right? No matter what you do, no matter what you say, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you truly love yourself, then that's who you are. And if you say, this is who I am, this is what I am, this is what I become. And that's another thing people forget. That's another thing forget. Is, even I forget this sometimes. Who you want to be in life is, who do you want to become? That's what it is. Who do you want to become in life? A lot of people need to understand how you get to who you want to be is, who do you want to become? And that's who you truly are. Is in that stage of who you're becoming is who you are. So when you look at things at a bigger perspective of figuring out who you are, or figuring out what you are, is by who you are is basically who are you becoming, what are you becoming? Because at the end of the day, at the end of your life, at the end of the year, basically, what you're becoming is what you are. So, the things you do, the things you say, the way you walk, that's why I watched it. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you hold yourself is who you're becoming. And that is very true. So, if I say this, right? If I say in the lines of this, I want to become someone who is a fitness influencer, who influences others to work out, right? How do I become an influencer? Well, I have to become an influencer. Someone who speaks fitness, right? Exercise, all these things. So, how do I do it? Who do I have to become in order to do that? Well, I gotta exercise. I have to show my exercise, show what exercises work, show doing the exercise the right way. And that's primarily what I'm becoming. And who I am, too. Someone who speaks about fitness influence or someone who speaks about this, right? Maybe I want to become a wiser person. Well, how do I become wiser? By using or experience in life, by gaining knowledge, by understanding, by communication, and reeling in information. That's what it means in order to kind of be who you are or become who you are. I got sidetracked. But that's how you find out who you are, is what you don't want to be and what are you becoming now. Like right now is who are you becoming right now. When you see your steps, you see the habits, you see all these things that align, the things you eat, the food that you drink, the things you eat, the food that you drink, the stuff, the liquids you drink is who you're becoming. So alcohol leads to what? Lack of awareness, lack of, not self-conscious, but lack of awkwardness, shy, all that leaves your body to numbness. But that can also mean maybe you ending up in the hospital, or someone ending up in the hospital, right? Or maybe you're the party guy, party gal. That's what it means. So becoming who you are is on you. So if you're truly kind of anxious, worried, or don't know what you want to be or who you want to be, think of what you don't want to be. And I'm not saying it's going to be there 100%, but you have a better understanding of who you don't want to be. And then you'll be closer to who you want to be. You just have to go through the steps of it. So don't overlook it. Don't go into these thoughts that maybe once I reach the peak of the mountain, that's just who I am, or that these clothes will finally be who I am, or this new pants, or these new things that will get me is who I am. They're not. They don't. Trust me. It might look like who you are, but it's not who you are. Because even then, you can put Bill Gates in a room full of old men and he would still look like an old man. But the difference is the mindsets, the way he acts, the way he talks, all these different things. You put The Rock in with a room full of people who work out, full of gym enthusiasm, next to Larry Wheels, Joey Swole, Chris Sebum, and he just looks like your average. They all look just like the same, right? The difference is who you are inside and what you do and who are you becoming. Or same thing with any actress, or I'm gonna say it, I don't give a fuck. You're old enough. Maybe you're not old enough, sorry. But like a OnlyFans influencer, you put her in a room full of women who don't do that kind of stuff, and she's just a woman. You don't know her unless you do. Then again, she's just a woman. But it's what you do and who you're becoming is who you are. And don't always get it twisted that this kind of way, or I know I'm speaking a lot here, is maybe stop trying to look to please people and accept you, trying to find out what they think you are. That is never the answer. That's fucking stupid and delusional. To say, hey, maybe this person knows who I am, when they probably don't even know who they are either. Because most of the time nowadays in this generation is follow the crowd, become part of the crowd, you are the crowd. Which is do what basically the other person says, do what basically the other person does, and speak, talk, and look like how the other person is. Guess what? They just want you to join the crowd. So basically you're just like everybody else. And maybe you don't want that, maybe you do. But at the end of your life, when you look back and you go, who was I really? You might regret it. or you may not, and you might be thankful that you found out who you really were. So that's the way I put it, is how you find out who you are is by finding out who you don't want to be. Simple, but not that simple. Overlooked many times. It's been a while since I've done these, but yeah, I gotta get back on track on these. So, sorry. Yeah, thanks for, if you stayed to the end, thanks for joining me with Mr. Mushroom Mumble with Mr. Mushroom. Mr. Mushroom Mumbles. That's basically what we'll call it. Mr. Mushroom Mumbles. Yeah, alright. See you, nerds. Jeez, that was 20 minutes, bro. That was actually really good. Great timing. Alright, yeah. Find out who you are. Be who you are. That's all I can say.